The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op.
Hello, everybody. Bow, 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 bow. Welcome to the Trap Nerd Sports Podcast, where, unlike Dan Campbell, we are kicking it.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
That's my corny joke of the day. How are you doing, guys?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing.
We got Joe back.
Doing a lot better than last. Well, a little bit better than last week. It would have been a lot better, but Joe is here. How you doing?
I wasn't
They're
there.
the three best friends that anyone could ever have.
We're the three best.
What was I singing in the group chat?
Just
the three of us.
Another week down. Another week close to the Super Bowl. And we can start with the Lions and the 49ers.
That game was fire.
2 weeks
Let's
in a
start
row.
with the Bills.
Shut the fuck up. 2 weeks in a row, I just feel like that teams handed the Niners the win on a silver platter. Dan Campbell, man, how do you guys feel about his call? Are you one of the – you got to stick to your football philosophy or –
Well, can I say something about this? I was reading, and at first I was like, well, this is stupid to me, you know. But I was reading the stats. The field goal, what's his name?
Badgley.
Yeah, he was like 48% from that.
He was 7 for 7 this year, though.
Oh, really?
With Detroit, yeah.
But then they said
Yeah,
said that they were almost 100% for like converting.
Yeah.
They were like 6 of 10 in the regular season,
And then
2 of 2.
I thought it was 4 of 4.
Maybe something like that in the playoffs.
Yeah. So but for some reason then why did I read that he was like 48% from kicking?
I think in
it?
his career.
Oh,
But, like,
okay.
since the Lions picked him up, he's been, like, lights out.
Oh, then I changed my mind. What I was gonna say.
I mean, my thing is, I've been on both sides of the fence. I love the way Dan Campbell coaches. I love that he goes for it. I think it's awesome. I think other teams are way too conservative. But it was kind of like when I hit the group chat when the Cowboys-Lions game, and he goes for 2 on, like, his own 10-yard line. It's like
he was being stubborn
yeah,
at that point.
He gets stubborn. He gets stuck in his ways, and his balls are too big. That's what it is. It's like there's certain times I absolutely love it, but, like, that moment against Dallas was so stupid. And then this one I do think was kind of dumb because this isn't easy to go for it. San Fran had the momentum. Their defense was playing better. I'm not even talking about the one to go up by 17. I'm talking about the one when they were down 3 in the 4th.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It's just like tie the game up, slow
See
the
what
momentum
happens,
down.
yeah.
Instead, you miss it. San Fran takes over, scores a touchdown. I know we're looking at it like result-oriented, but I don't know. I'm on both sides. I like Dan Campbell. I like the chances he takes, but I think some of them are just a little bit too ridiculous.
I told you guys before that. Remember I said I didn't think he would. I don't think he can keep up coaching with dudes like Shanahan, and like that's one of the things that is going to hold him back from winning a chip.
That's why I hate it. It's like like as a football fan, I love it because it's entertaining. I don't care if the Lions win, but if I was a Lions fan, I would be pissed. And it's like it's hard for the Lions fans to even question him because they won 12 games.
They
won
got
NFC
there.
championship
Some of
game.
it might have been because of him going for it.
But my thing is, and my problem with, like, I sent the tweet, that guy tweeted me back in the group chat.
That's cool.
So he only tweeted back a couple people, and one of the guys he tweeted back was, so basically for the show, this man basically said, I'm okay with Dan Campbell doing that. If you get cautious in moments of crisis or whatever, you basically are Brandon Staley. And I quote tweeted it and said, well, just like Brandon Staley, this man allowed 4 scores in the second half of a playoff game and collapsed and lost.
Yeah.
So that's the worst thing that Brandon Staley ever did, and now Dan Campbell has done it.
He was going 4th and 2 on his own 30 and shit.
They're actually
it was
very
a very
similar
weird,
coaches now that I think about it.
It was a very weird comparison. But another thing he replied to, he said, someone said, you can't let your philosophy make every single decision for you. And then Kevin Clark said, that's absolutely what you should do. And no, that's not true. Like, we saw Bill Belichick have a different game plan for every single team he played for years, and he's the best coach of all time. Andy Reid changes his game plan all the time. If you become so stubborn and so set in your ways, the great thing about going forward like that,
Shanahan does it too.
They'll
do
Shanahan
a run
has
game,
collapsed.
and then all of a sudden they're passing all the time.
But before though, Shanahan wouldn't change his play style.
He does now.
Or he would get too conservative, and then he's also collapsed multiple times in the playoffs. But what I'm saying is, in the regular season, sure, that's fine. But when you get to the playoffs and it's down to, like we say with the Bills and the Chiefs all the time, it's down to 1 play, 2 plays, 3 plays for that settle the game. You have to make the smart play. You don't just go with the play that goes, oh, I have the biggest balls in the world. Let me show the world. In that instance, I didn't even mind the go up 17. I would have taken the points there because it's a playoff game. You take the points.
Would have been nice.
But the fourth quarter,
you take points in playoff games.
I agree. But
unless you're in like 4th and 1 or 4th and 2 where you know you could just hand the ball off and get it. When you're forced to get in shotgun and complete a pass, that shit's tough.
The halftime I would have taken the points, but it's like if you go into halftime with a 21-point lead instead of 17-point lead, that's like pretty big, and it was like worth the risk in my opinion. But the fourth quarter kick, your team has made 88 yards the entire second half. They've scored 0 points. You've been outscored 20. I think it was like 20-0 at that point. Yeah, because it was 27-24. You have no momentum. Take the fucking points.
And you don't the ball to Josh Reynolds, who like the play was good, and he just dropped a pretty easy conversion. So that sucks for Dan Campbell that he did dial up the right play. But you're relying on guys with your season on the line like Josh Reynolds.
Yeah,
I don't understand why.
You have to take those 3 points. You have to tie the game because it doesn't work out. Now you put your defense in a horrible position. Now they have to go out and make a stop, and if they don't,
they can't,
and if they can't and they didn't, and now you're down by 10, and it's like game's over unless some miracle happens.
Can I tell you what I thought was a worst coaching decision by Dan Campbell? On 3rd and goal, there's a minute left. The Lions have 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
So if they get a touchdown or a field goal, they can kick it deep and try to play defense with their 3 timeouts, or go for the outside kick and try to play defense. It doesn't matter. Hands the ball off to Montgomery. Gets stuffed, has to call timeout. To me, there's no way.
Yeah.
As good as Montgomery's been inside the 2 and 3 yard line, you cannot risk your timeout there because now you get stuffed, call a timeout, go for an onside kick, San Fran recovers it, victory formation. If you throw a couple incomplete passes and kick a field goal or throw a touchdown, you can do whatever you want now. You have all 3 timeouts. You know San Fran's going to run it 3 times. You might get the ball back. I thought that was a bigger blunder by him than going for it on that 4th and 3.
At the end of the day, I think elsewise he coached a really good I can't say that.
The Lions came out fired up. Like, they were ready.
Yeah, but in the second half, you just can't let that happen.
Nothing. I'm like, oh, my God, San Fran. It almost made me feel like San Fran, like, really doesn't belong at
Purdy
first,
was ass.
I don't know
in the
if
first half.
Even in the second half, Purdy played great. I'm not.
Dude,
but
he became a
but
baller.
It's like he become like he's like the Tom Brady. He's like got the horseshoe stuck up his ass. He threw an interception and it bounces off dude's helmet.
That was
right?
wild. Yeah.
Like and that's why I'm saying like it's definitely not all on Dan Campbell because that play, dude drops the interception through his face, bounces off his helmet,
just leaps over there and
gets a touchdown. And then they get Purdy into a bad position. They're like sacking him. He tosses the ball up. His 7th best weapon, Jawan Jennings, makes an amazing catch.
That was in the first half, though, wasn't it?
No, it was the second half. Wasn't it?
I swore that was the first half because that's when I was bashing him. I'm like, oh, he's playing like an idiot. The second
Maybe it
half,
was the end of the second or first half.
Because I just felt like the second half, he was fast. He was running for long gains. He was breaking away from sacks. Like he was amazing towards the end of the game.
He was good towards the end of the game, but the Lions really just gave that game up.
No, they did.
Josh Reynolds dropped the ball.
A lot of
people
were saying they Lions their way out of it or whatever. You know, Detroit will be Detroit. But what was I going to say about Purdy? Oh, the thing that impressed me about Purdy is because a lot of people compare him to like, could Darnold do this? Can Jimmy G do this?
No.
In the 3rd and 4th quarter, he became a difference maker.
Yeah,
that's what impressed me. He was making the throws.
He wasn't just a game manager.
He made a dot to Debo,
that one he had
like
Debo.
Right in between two
he
guys.
He was making big throws, big runs, breaking away from sacks. He did get lucky with Ayuk, but that's the nature of the game, and that's going to happen. But
and then on the Lions side, like everyone's just dropping the ball.
Goff missed a couple throws. Then when he made them, the guys dropped them. Gibbs fumbled.
Oh yeah, Gibbs fumbled.
Yeah, San Fran wasn't going.
To me, as a Lions fan, I think you're still happy. Like you got to learn.
You made it mad fire, man.
Yeah, I mean
they didn't even win a playoff game in how many years?
33, I think it was.
30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like how I feel about Green Bay. You're happy with the season, but it hurts because you had the game.
That's
like
true.
The Texans at least know we had a great season, and then we were just outmatched and outclassed.
Yeah,
by
but then
Baltimore.
won a playoff game.
Yeah,
too, yeah.
But like Green Bay and Detroit probably feel a little bit differently because they actually had San Fran, and they both gave the game away.
But yeah, I mean Purdy. so ass in the first half, and
yeah, he looked cool. I was like, this dude sucks. I was like, I don't even know how I ever cheered for him.
Oh my God.
But like Pat McAfee said something, and I agree. It's just like I think talent-wise, I think for 40 or not 40 minutes. I want to say 40 minutes because I always talk about this like analogy with basketball. But for like the first 90% of the game, I think he's just in the tier of like Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott.
He was what Cam
those
said.
kind of guys.
He was just a game manager.
But in the last 10% of a game, he has the it factor that Dak Prescott doesn't have. That like Kirk, when they always choke, they might be like in the same conversation as Purdy. But they get to that moment and they always choke, and Purdy doesn't fucking choke.
I wonder what Cam Newton thinks about Purdy's performance at the end of the game. If he like changes his mind that this guy actually is a gamer.
To be playing, and I'm obviously the biggest Purdy hater on the podcast. To be playing that, it's more impressive to me that he was that shitty in the first half and was able to turn it on.
Yeah,
like that. It's one thing to play good all game when you're feeling good, but to play like shit, be down 17, and then just have complete trust, and it's easy to have a trust in a team that good, but just to play that well, I'm
pretty sure Shanahan said that that was part of the reason that he got the job was his confidence. They said he could go out there and throw 4 picks and he'll still just go out there and play
his game,
like he didn't throw 4 picks.
No,
that's impressive, honestly.
You see guys like Lamar, we'll obviously get into it, but like when he's down and out in the playoffs, there is nothing that he does that changes the game or like makes the team better. And that's Lamar, who's probably the biggest playmaker in the league at some points. Like for Purdy to be able to do that and Lamar not, I know the difference in team around him, but still Lamar's the MVP and couldn't make any plays.
Well, yeah. See, I want to talk about that. A good switch. So obviously the Chiefs beat Baltimore. And it wasn't really because of Mahomes or anything offensively that they did, because the Baltimore
they only put up
really
17
good.
points.
Baltimore
right?
played,
Score?
17-10, right?
Baltimore's defense kept them in that game.
Yeah.
It was because Lamar played awful. I mean, like in the second half, even when he started he kind of started looking like he was going to do what Purdy did. He started playing better in the second half. They gets him in the red zone, and he can't help the Zay Flowers fumble, but that third, to throw into triple coverage for an interception, is unbelievable.
Likely did put his hand up and say, "I'm open." I think Lamar just trusted him.
I don't see.
You're the quarterback.
No, I know, but if Lamar's under pressure, I would have to see the replay. If it likely puts his hand up, I don't know if Kelsey puts his hand up. Mahomes is throwing it, but Kelsey ain't putting his hand up if he's not open though.
It does. But you got it. You can't.
Mark Andrews came back. I don't see how he didn't get the ball more than 2 times.
I don't think he was ready to be back.
No,
it was kind of like so. I know DeMond loves Beckham still, and still thinks that he should be used more. And the fact that Aguilar and Bateman are on the field getting targets,
Bateman
more
fucking
stupid.
blows.
My thing with it is I don't know that Beckham can handle running as many routes or taking as many hits, and I think that's what happened with Andrews. I think he came back and was more of like a decoy and maybe was going to be in a red zone threat. He wasn't Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
He wasn't ready to be out there running a bunch of routes and taking hits. I think that's where ODB is in his career. I could be wrong. Maybe he'll go somewhere else and prove me wrong. But
he has a 2-year there, though, right?
No, he's a free agent, I think.
There's a 1 year, $17 million.
I was looking at 13.
He got $17 million for this year?
That's why.
He made 20.
Damn, they could have gave me 6 out and did the same shit as him.
He made like 35,000 in catchers. I can't remember what the stat was. It was something funny, though.
I loved him on, but there's no they paid him money. If he was able to get open and deserve targets, he was going to get them.
I think the coaches, if the coaches are that bad, then and we're wrong, that's fine. But I can't see the coaches watching Bateman and Aguilar and whoever else they have running routes and be like,
don't they got Pringle? Isn't Pringle on there?
I don't know, Duvernay and shit. They're like those guys are going to be on the field in the AFC Championship. But that is the same coaching staff that ran the ball. Like 6 times.
I thought it was 8.
Yeah, they ran the ball all year. I think their lowest was 17 times. You come out in the AFC Championship. Gus Edwards runs for 15 yards the first play and doesn't get another touch for 2 quarters. So maybe DeMond's right. Maybe that is just a dumbass coaching staff. Who knows? Because that shit was crazy. They're like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have Lamar go up against a sick defense and just throw the ball every play. And he catches one himself.
That coaching job was completely terrible, but they were a great coaching staff. Todd Monken's been great all year.
They were
this
all
is the
year.
best offense that they've had since Lamar's first MVP season.
These teams outcoach themselves.
Mike McDonald is the guy. Like, he's the best defensive coordinator probably in the league. He's a fucking animal. Like, that defense.
I want Baltimore's linebacker coach. That dude be bugging. They really feed off him and shit, but I guess we're interviewing their defensive back coach, but they have a lot. I'm just saying their whole coaching staff on the defensive side is crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
they did a great job. They gave him a million chances to win the game. Like you said, it wasn't Mahomes. This was the first time Mahomes won a Brady type game.
Yeah.
But in the playoffs, what Mahomes did was he came out, 2 touchdowns in a row, so he set the tone immediately, and he didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all you need, and then he made a big throw to Scantlin at the end. He still did his part.
Fucking
Lamar
hate
on the other
Scantlin.
end, sack fumble, interception in the end zone.
He had a couple big runs, right?
And then, he's always going to do that, but it was nothing crazy.
Yeah.
It was like...
He didn't take over the game.
Yeah.
The thing, and I know, like, I always make this somehow about the Bills, but it's just unbelievable that there's like a certain there's a group of people who say that Lamar is the most hated quarterback, and there's like some racist dudes out there like who still say Lamar's still a running back.
Yeah,
those dudes are just straight up haters.
Real people. Yeah.
But it's such a small group, and I mean, I'm just gonna say it. Black people allow those people to get into their head and be like, "Oh, everyone's racist towards Lamar. They call him a running back." It's like, no, it's just those fucking racist people over there.
Yeah.
Like, no one like us who actually watches football thinks Lamar Jackson is just a running back.
Yeah,
Lamar Jackson was great all year.
I was
He's not a
arguing
great
for his
playoff
MVP.
quarterback.
But
he kind of stinks.
Like, yeah, people like, oh, he's hated by the media is a comment I got.
He's gonna have 2 MVPs.
So I'm in a group. I'm like probably the only white guy in the group, and they've just been bagging on Josh Allen the whole fucking time. So soon as Lamar lost, I went in there. They've been calling Josh Allen a loser, blah blah. 5-5 in the playoffs, 2-4 in the playoffs. So why is Josh Allen being called
0-4 when his opponent scores more than 13 points?
Okay,
that's unreal.
And they were like, "Oh, Josh Allen's only beat backups." Lamar played 3 quarters the game that we beat him, and it was 3-3.
And he threw a pick six, 100-yard pick six.
Yeah. Did he?
Yeah.
In the Bills game?
They
were
about to go tie the game or take the lead or whatever was going to happen, and then I think it was it Johnson?
Tron Johnson?
Dude just gets a pick six. Like, it was nuts.
So it doesn't matter that he got hurt. He made the worst play of the game, and then he gets hurt, and then we ended up winning 17-3 in that game. It's just unbelievable that we're still having this conversation. And then it's like, oh, the media. The guy literally said to me, Lamar Jackson's going to be the NFL MVP while Josh Allen's the media MVP. He said this to me. Do you fucking know who votes on the MVP? The media. Like 570 writers and shit like that vote on the MVP. So if the media hated Lamar so much, he would not be winning this MVP that he statistically does not deserve. Like, even back when he was a running back, when he threw for like 2,800 yards and he ran for 1,000, he won an MVP. He's developed into a good quarterback. Like, let's just stop this. Let's stop making football about race. I'm the first one to stand up and be like that's racist or something. But can we stop this shit? Like, I promise you, if the NFL media was racist, Lamar Jackson wouldn't have 2 MVPs.
Yeah, because this one you could easily give to McCaffrey.
Give to McCaffrey or Allen.
A white running back, though, if that was their motive, would be a great time for them to do that.
Yeah,
but
because it wouldn't even like. Let's just stop it. Let's stop putting anyone in the conversation with Mahomes. Let's stop putting anyone in the conversation with Allen.
Yeah, I put that in the group.
Mahomes
is here.
Allen's in the
here,
middle.
And then you could decide who you want there. Burrow, Lamar.
And if Burrow's fully healthy, I think he's in the Allen conversation too.
Herbert.
You could say Burrow because he went to Buffalo and Kansas City and won those playoff games.
If it wasn't for his injuries, he's in the conversation.
So I would be cool with Burrow. You said who?
I said don't put Herbert there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Harbaugh and shit, though.
Oh, no, I want to talk about that because I think Herbert is going to become
become what?
No, listen.
Before we get into that, though, let's talk about the Mahomes to Kelsey connection. 11 targets, 11 catches, 2 touchdowns.
Breaks the record.
Breaks Jerry Rice's record. Yeah. We all were starting to think we were wondering, is Kelsey washed? Is Taylor Swift getting him away from football?
Just waiting for the playoffs.
They really got to the playoffs and turned it on.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy to me how they can do that.
Well, it's literally he's just pulling a LeBron.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, LeBron can't do it now because his team's ass if he's not great, but he's just pulling the Jimmy buckets. It's just like, yeah, I'll be a top 20 player for the regular season, but I'm him in the playoffs.
People just didn't want to realize all these years of the first 5 years of Mahomes going to the AFC Championship was Mahomes. It was a loaded offense, MVP stats, and now this year Mahomes is having a down year, but people weren't realizing this defense is fucking loaded. And
Yeah,
what's their
that's
dude's coordinator, Spags or whatever?
Spagnuolo.
That dude's the way he called going from the Bills game plan, as you talked about changing game plans, and going to the Baltimore game, like that was amazing. And people wanted to talk about Mahomes, but their defense running game, and they have the best kicker in football in Bucker. The dude does not miss a kick.
And
that shit was huge.
That dude Snead's huge for him.
Yeah, he's nice as hell. This dude Flowers wants to taunt him.
He didn't make the Ward from San Fran made the All-Pro team over him. He's not
Snead's been lights out.
Snead is 10 times better than
you guys realize that the Flowers taunted him and did all that shit, and then he punched the ball out? Like, that's crazy. That's
Joe
some
Burrow
movie
was
shit.
mad?
No.
I think it was Joe Burrow.
What would he say?
He was just mad. He said, let them dudes play ball.
I mean, the thing about taunting's one thing, but he literally catches the ball, pushes him over, stands over him. Like, that is stupid.
Yeah. No, so what's the I forget. Some players have a podcast, and they said it should be Tom. I forgot who it was, but you should be allowed to taunt to an extent. Yeah. But you can't stand over someone.
They were trying to compare Kelsey taunting all game compared to Flowers, and like I don't comment on shit because I just don't care anymore, and I don't even know these people. They just show up on my Twitter.
That's what they said. Show up on
but it's like I wanted to comment, like, are you that fucking stupid? All the shit Kelsey was doing was just normal taunting. This guy literally pushes the man to the ground, stands over him, flexes over him. It's like, yeah, you're getting a penalty.
Well, the push I didn't mind because he was still holding on to him after the whistle. I don't think that was what the penalty was for. Like he was holding his leg. So I don't think that was the penalty for. I think it was like
it was just all of it.
It was just. I think it was like you're already getting aggressive with each other. You're gonna taunt. It's gonna cause a fight. Yeah. Like obviously we have to cause a fight.
Snead was smart. The dude taunted over him. He just laid there and just was like, "I'll be punching the ball out in 2 plays."
He'll be fumbling, buddy.
Yeah, for real.
It sucks for Zay Flowers that he made that fumble because otherwise he played
like
a
great
fantastic
game.
game.
It shows that you have to take care of your quarterback. Even the running back, quarterback Lamar, you got him a first-round receiver, and that dude balled out.
And what Zay showed me, a little bit of a
Remember when you
sidebar.
said that he would be asked? Cause
I did not say no. I didn't say he would be asked. I said I'd be worried he would be asked because of how small he is.
This is tough.
And what
Tank Dell and Zay Flowers have taught me this year is that size just doesn't matter in the NFL.
These dudes are
anymore.
so
look at
fast.
Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill set the tone.
Well, Tyreek's jacked though. It's like it's different with Tyreek.
He's like Kyler. He could be short, but he's like
otherwise
is a football.
Look at all the injuries Brandon Cooks got. Dude got fucking labeled mad times. He's so little. You really can't hit Tyreek.
Yeah.
Like
Did he have 1,000 yards this year?
Cooks?
Yeah.
I don't know. He had another decent year, but
I'm just curious.
But they've taught me, like, as we move forward into the draft season, I used to like take points away from that. It doesn't matter anymore.
No,
like
if you're really good, you're really good.
That for quarterback though,
you can't hit people the way you used to be able to. So the fact that you're small means nothing. It's kind of a strength nowadays. Like you can.
You're
like
shifty.
You're shifty, and people can't destroy you for being small. I mean, Tank Dell did get hurt, but I don't think it was because
it was on a running play. He was blocking like he was a tight end, and some dude rolled up on his
it
leg
was
at the goal line. I couldn't believe it. George Pickens even like people were criticizing his effort in a game, and he was like, "I'm not getting hurt like Pickens, like Dell. Like, why are these receivers, especially small ones, lined up on a goal line?" blocking and having like an offensive lineman roll up on their leg and breaking. That shit was stupid.
With Pickens' size, he needs to block. That's one good thing I could say about
Gabe. He was all set.
That's one good thing I could say about Gabe Davis is he was like a great run blocker. It really helps us. But
that's why he has a job.
I'm just saying on them goal line situations and like fighting, like even that play where Pickens,
he shouldn't be on the field.
But the one play where Pickens didn't block, it was like, was Jaylen Warren going to get to the 3 or the 2? Like Pickens really didn't have to do anything. Like I didn't mind him not blocking there. It looked bad, but like I understood it. It wasn't like a difference in the game.
Yeah.
Like people wanted him to block and maybe Warren could have scored, but it's like, fuck that. I'm not getting my ankle rolled up on for an extra yard. We'll just run it the next play, touchdown. Like,
it's funny. Mike Tomlin was just on a podcast and he said, like, I love when people aren't willing to coach because he gets so many players who have like behavioral issues or stuff like that because they fall, and he's like, that's your fucking job. Yeah. So he's like, I get guys like Pickens in the second round. I get guys like that because it's my job to coach. It's my job. That's why we get paid. My job to manage these guys. So if you want to keep throwing me super talented guys who are like, whatever,
just have behavior issues.
Yeah, like I'm gonna do my best to make that better, but I'm also like my team's gonna be more talented because you don't want to do your fucking job.
Patriots got like Aaron Hernandez and Gronk both late as hell because they both were, especially Hernandez had a lot of issues in college and shit. And look what happened.
Yeah,
you know them dudes crushed.
What happened?
They just were the best tight end combo I've ever seen.
Oh,
then. Some other shit,
some less important shit.
Yeah. But still, I mean, they in the Patriots' defense, they got what they wanted out of him. That's the sad truth about it. That dude balled out and helped them win a Super Bowl, and I think get to 2.
And then what?
Then he did some crazy shit.
This is a great segue because Bill Belichick still does not have a job.
Yeah, this is wild to me. It's disrespectful in my opinion.
It reminds me of like an old mob movie where like the guy falls from grace. Because I literally used to call Bill Belichick the Godfather. Like there's no evidence of this shit, but he has.
Can you just tell me why Washington doesn't go get him?
He probably don't want to go there.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Well, the thing is, let me complete my analogy.
Yeah.
This man got whatever he wanted. He kept fucking literal murderers in line. Roger Goodell was scared of him on multiple occasions. Like, he had dirt on people. Like, he ran shit. Like, the worst player
Think about
in the
Deflategate
NFL.
or what
Yeah.
was the other one? The tape shit?
All of it.
What were the
Oh,
names?
Spygate.
Spygate. What was the other one?
Deflategate was real dumb. But Spygate, like, all this shit. And he could get whatever players he wanted, and they would buy into his shit. He was the Godfather. Like, people
He got Randy Moss to get the full potential out of
Randy Moss went from greatest prospect ever, looking like he's going to have the best career ever. He goes to Oakland. Awful. He's, like, out of the NFL. He's, like, can't get 400 yards, can't stay healthy. Goes to Patriots, becomes the best ever.
Has the single best season of all time.
He was the Godfather. And now, what is he?
Yeah, I'm surprised.
It's like John Gotti came through and said, oh, you guys don't want to sell drugs? I will. And he took over everything.
It's crazy because Vrabel don't have a job either. I
That's
guess
the one.
The
that
Chargers
really...
said they were going to give him the job if Harbaugh denied, but nobody else, I guess, did.
Yeah, but like these other teams, like who did Atlanta get?
Ronnie Morris.
Oh yeah, they got Morris.
But the thing, okay, this is my theory. Is I think people, even though Vrabel's
Seattle
a good
still don't
coach,
have a coach, right?
I think that's where Vrabel's going to go. I don't think they fire Pete Carroll just to hire Bill Belichick.
He didn't get fired, I thought, right, Pete Carroll?
He did. It was like he stepped down or some shit.
And
I
then
thought he moved to like president of something.
Yeah, they just didn't want him coaching. I don't think.
Yeah.
But
he's old.
Yeah, they're not going to fire him and hire the only guy older than him.
If Vrabel's going.
I think Vrabel's going to go to Seattle, but I think a lot of teams
He'll be nice with Vrabel.
Don't want Vrabel because of he's like too old school. Even though he's younger, he's old school. He's like run the ball, play defense. Like they feel like people think there's a cap on that. It's like, what would you do if you coached that way but didn't have Derrick Henry? You know what I mean?
Right.
If anything, he would have fit in Atlanta. But I think Atlanta was really smart. You hire Raheem Morris, who put together a bunch of fifth-round pick and laters and undrafted free agents and had one of the better defenses in the league in the Rams. Then you get to hire an offensive mind.
That was on the same team as him, right?
Zach Robinson, who's coming from the McVay-Shanahan tree. You still get that, even though he's not your head coach. You still get one of those guys as a play caller. So you might be able to get the best of both worlds there. I think it was really smart because if you hire Bill, what do you get? One, you're only probably getting 2 years out of him. Two, what is he going to bring Josh McDaniels over? You get if Zach Robinson is anything like the guys that he's learned from, you get the best of both worlds, and they're both young as fuck.
And they'll probably work well together.
Yes.
You see who the Steelers got for their OC? Did you?
No, I'm thinking about
Arthur Smith.
Arthur Smith. It made me laugh because in the group chat, I woke up, I was reading it today, and it was funny because
Aaron was trying to defend it.
Aaron, really, I get it as a fan. I do this shit too sometimes. No matter what the move is, you have to tell yourself it's a good move, so you like. You know what I mean? So you don't beat yourself up about it. He's in there like, well, I get, when he he was like when he was on the Titans though.
2019, 2020.
They were the number one seed and they did this, and that. And I'm laughing. And maybe he will be good. I'm not going to say that he can't be, but it was kind of like what you said. I was like, well, they did have Derrick Henry as well.
Yeah,
makes things a little bit easier, but we'll see. It just made me laugh because I know deep down that was the one guy they didn't want, and they ended up getting him.
I think Dorsey was the one guy they didn't want. Which what did I don't want to skip over.
It's too late.
It's
too late. I had something to say in the moment.
Finish my sentence.
Yeah, no, but it was on something you were saying, so it doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Do you like Dorsey to the Browns?
I fucking love it.
You think he's gonna be bad?
Yeah,
he might not be that bad there though.
He had Josh Allen. But was bad.
But
now he has Deshaun Watson, who couldn't play as good as Joe Flacco.
But Deshaun Watson could probably play better in 2 tight end sets when running the ball, especially if Nick Chubb comes back.
That's a good point.
Dorsey may be better. It might be a better fit.
Be a good fit.
That's a good point. That's a good point, and I don't really have an argument against it. But who's their second tight end? Like, I don't know. I guess Njoku, like after Cooper is. Honestly, he was better than. No, that's not true. Cooper.
Like, what if they go get T. Higgins though?
They can't. Remember, we were talking last year when they made all these signings about how bad their cap situation was. Like, there's no way they have cap to go and get T. Higgins. I don't.
Somebody
know,
need to
man.
find out how to get T.
Fucking
Higgins.
Dorsey was just so bad. Even when Joe Brady went in 2 tight end sets, the offense still looked better than when we had. I just don't see how you leave Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs and you go to Deshaun Watson, and Amari Cooper's great, and you have.
This might be a better fit.
They have a better offensive line.
And
if he wants
their
to
head
run
coach is who, Stefanski?
Yeah.
So he's a great offensive mind, too, so I'm sure they can make it work better.
Dorsey might be nice there. I ain't going to lie to you.
Is it, who was the one that,
Stefanski was on the verge of getting fired before this year.
I thought, who was the one that had,
Joe Flacco
Cooper
was
Kupp
the
and then
leader,
Justin Jefferson?
Might have been Stefanski. I don't know. I just know
from Minnesota.
Stefanski won Coach of the Year like his first or second year. And then after
it's
that,
the
he's
Vikings
been
coach
terrible.
I'm thinking of. He came from the Rams.
O'Connell.
That's what I'm thinking of.
I don't like it. If I was a Browns fan, I wouldn't like it. I mean, he didn't even we ran the ball more when Brady came too. So if anything, it'd be like, okay, well if Nick Chubb can come back.
I'm just saying that Dorsey was doing a lot of game managing, and Deshaun Watson might fit the script for him.
What if he just has him lighten shit up?
He might though.
I'll be pissed.
It's a different.
Sometimes
if
people need to change
I
the
think
scenery.
Arthur Smith has a better chance of I think he's a better fit for Pittsburgh. I mean, Najee looked good at the end of the year. Jalen Warren's one of the best backup running backs in the league. Their offensive line started playing better. They at least fit together. Yeah. I don't think that's the way to go forward in today's NFL. But if that's what you want to do, I think Arthur Smith can. Maybe Arthur Smith just sucked. Maybe he couldn't juggle being a head coach and calling
That was
plays.
one thing that Aaron was saying was it is a big difference being the head coach to the
you can't. It's hard to probably
coordinator.
transition.
So I do get that.
The one thing I'd say to Aaron is the play calling was also awful. He had the best
but who
version
was
of what
OC?
he should have wanted. He had Bijan, Tyler Algier, a good offensive line. That's the best version of what he could. Yeah, so if he couldn't succeed there, the only thing is you got to hope that it's because he was juggling other responsibilities.
Yeah.
Because the play calling was bad.
No, I know.
And maybe his play calling was
Well, who was the OC?
Ritter.
Maybe is that the OC?
I think Arthur Smith was calling plays.
Okay.
I think the OC was just a figurehead, kind of with how Sean Payton's calling the plays. I don't know. If anything, I would think Arthur Smith has a better chance of fixing his career than Dorsey does.
Yeah, I guess my only thing with that I would say to Aaron is when there was a report that Staley might be the Packers defensive coordinator, he was like, "Damn, that would suck" or whatever. But when he was a defensive coordinator, he had a number one defense. And Aaron's comment
Where was he the coordinator at?
I think the Rams in 2019. And then it was funny because Aaron said how we put them out. Rodgers put 33 up on them. But Aaron was like, well, he had a really good team too. But it's yeah, we can cherry pick that stuff.
Did you guys fire what's his name?
Yeah.
Joe Brady.
Yeah.
Barry, not Brady. Joe Brady.
What was I saying?
Sorry.
Oh, I was saying when he was a defensive coordinator, he had the number one defense, regardless of what the talent was around him. He did that.
Yeah.
We could say when you hire Arthur Smith, you could say, well, he had the number one offense or whatever. There's no reason to point at how. I could say, well, you had Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. I think Arthur Smith maybe as an offensive coordinator could be good. I think Staley as a defensive coordinator could be good.
I think
he couldn't be a head coach.
The only reason you can point at Derrick Henry is because he's such an anomaly.
Well, that's what I was trying to say though earlier with Vrabel. Like you said that he likes to run the ball and play D. I mean, it's hard to not want to run the ball and play D when you have Derrick Henry.
Yeah, maybe he was only
He's the
doing
best
that.
player on the field when
whoever
they're playing against.
Yeah. Maybe he was only doing that because his personnel. Maybe he can change.
As a head coach or any kind of coach, you want to put the ball in your best player's hand.
That's true.
And he's the best player.
It's just hard to win like that because when you make the playoffs and against Cincinnati and Baltimore, that was their 2 eliminations. Derrick Henry didn't do shit. Now you have to figure out how you're going to win. And it's kind of why I don't ever think Baltimore is going to get over the hump because if they can't run the ball down someone's
throat. You think it's John Harbaugh?
No, he already's got a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, he already won a Super Bowl with Flacco. I don't know what it is.
Flacco
I just think Lamar, unless they build a different type of team around Lamar with better weapons, look at how they lost that game. Kansas City didn't let them run, or they just chose not to run, actually, and they couldn't move the ball.
That's why I was saying about when I was sticking up for his MVP. His team fucking blows. The offense blows.
Yeah, it does, but it's like Duke said, it's built for him because that's what he does.
But when you have to pass, you're passing to dudes like Bateman, Aguilar, and whoever. Beckham. I mean,
but they signed Beckham for $17 million.
No, I get it.
They drafted Flowers.
I get it, but
they tried to do what they thought was
Likely's been
good.
great all year.
Yeah, they had 2 good tight ends.
Likely's been great since Andrews went down. Likely's been good.
Yeah, Likely's been really good. Legley's been probably a top 3 tight end in the league.
No way.
Well, that's like the thing is you can't have
that's why
everything.
Jake won this league.
Really?
It's like when it comes to Lamar, it's easy to point to that, but the you can't have everything. If you're gonna spend a ton of money building the best offensive line in football, you're gonna struggle with the receivers. My thing with Lamar is I think he is a good quarterback, and because of his playmaking ability, he's risen to a top 5 guy. But
Lamar,
yes. But and that's why I'm not 100% blaming him on this loss, even though he did play bad. If made to be just a quarterback, I don't think he's top 7 or 8 in
they
that
need to go
category.
get T. Higgins.
Like, I don't think that he's that.
No, I understand that they need to.
Like, if tomorrow he could not run the ball, let's just say, or he could just just say he became like.
Did he throw for 500?
He could run a little bit, but he's not like scary. How good is he? And that's what they didn't. Their play calling made him do that. They made him become just a traditional quarterback, just throwing the ball. He hardly ran. There's no option plays. He's fucking terrifying. I've been saying for years, there's 2 people that literally terrify me. It's Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes. They can be trash all game and then just like that, fucking rip your heart out. They didn't give that to him. That's what Josh Allen. We didn't let Josh Allen do that the first half of the season. If you're gonna build a team around Lamar based around running, you cannot run 6 times.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Because Lamar can't be Superman with his arm. He's a good quarterback.
Just imagine if they ran him more.
He's not an elite quarterback. He's not. If you take just throwing the ball, he's not elite. He cannot win a game.
He's an elite player. He's not an elite passer. That's the problem.
He can't win a game where you're only running the ball 6 times. It's just not going to happen. So it's not completely his fault.
He should have had 150 yards running that game.
Yeah, they weren't letting him, though.
Like Gus Edwards, he got a 15-yard run. He's.
Is it just an experience thing?
No, I mean that's
like
his
they
6th
weren't ready
playoff
for the
game.
big game. Like they're going up against a team that's been there and won the Super Bowl, and they just weren't.
I mean,
the pressure got to them being there and
live under pressure though. I don't think that was the case.
I think it's a little bit of the case anytime you play the Chiefs because they have so
First start.
Pat Mahomes has as many playoff starts. He has more playoff starts than the Arizona Cardinals do in their entire history.
Because I knew he wasn't getting yards.
So I think it's a little bit of it, but that was Lamar's 6th playoff game. It's not like it was his first or a second. Like that's his 6th playoff game. He's been in the league for 6 years now.
He got the home field advantage.
Yeah.
Got Mahomes on the road. But I do agree. I do think experience matters because I always said it, and it might have been me being a hater on Brady and Belichick. I feel like teams handed them wins. Like a team like Baltimore who's a heavy run team, sees Andy Reid and Mahomes, and you know what we're going to do today? We're going to run the ball 6 times. We'll fucking trick them.
Yeah.
And then you score 10
they
points and
overthink
lose.
it, yeah.
And that's what a lot of times I felt like people would play Belichick and Brady. Like the Rams that Super Bowl year, McVay and Jared Goff went from this great offensive-minded whatever to pathetic.
Yeah.
They scored 3 points. And sure, New England's defense deserves
Gurley
credit.
was awful.
Yeah, Belichick deserves credit, but
punt.
there was play calls and things that weren't what they did all year. Teams get...
It's hard to just switch your offense up, too.
Yeah, you play 18 games...
And it's all been
and
working
have success,
all year.
and then all of a sudden you want to be funny. Against Houston, they won because Lamar ran for 1,000,000 yards. And I know Kansas City's defense is better and took that away, but they just abandoned they ran it 6 times.
Yeah, I would
respect it. Kansas City let Josh Allen run for 72 yards. We ran for 182 yards.
You guys ran the ball down their throat for the first 3 quarters. There's no way we're just going to act like Gus Edwards had 15 yards his first carry and then didn't get the ball.
I can't accept that they just didn't let that. The Chiefs didn't.
They didn't try.
Because they didn't try. They would have more attempts.
Like I said, Gus Edwards' first carry was fine.
Yeah, I was going to say,
left it.
If it was the Chiefs' defense, I think that it would be 17 rushes for the same amount of yards.
Like how Vrabel, when Henry played the Ravens, Lamar's first career playoff, when Henry had 25 carries for 70 yards. I'm just guessing. But it was something crazy. Vrabel didn't abandon the shit. He kept giving him the ball.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Baltimore just kept stopping.
They were like, you know what? We're not going to run the ball. That's exactly what happened.
They outsmarted themselves.
What I furthering the point on the Brady thing and where Mahomes and Reid are getting to now is that there's truly no pressure on them at this point. It's if they lose, it's okay, well, we already have 2. I mean, maybe
they don't want to lose, though. That's the difference. They're hungry all the time.
I know I'm not saying that, but there's a difference between being hungry with a ton of pressure on you and being hungry and just thinking you can go out there and do whatever you want to do. Because the Mahomes and Reid know we've done this before. We can do it again. And if we don't do it, is it going to be fucking heartbreaking? Yes. But we have those 2 Super Bowls to fall back on, where teams like the Ravens and the Bills are if we don't get this done now, maybe we never get it done, and we can't look back and say we have 1 or 2 Super Bowls. So I think it makes them do dumb shit. We have to. They have this huge advantage of being Super Bowl winning team. Let's fucking give the ball to Lamar Hamlin. Like I think it makes them. I think it makes them.
I do agree.
No,
dumb
run the
shit.
fake punt to Hamlin. That makes the most sense.
I had a conversation with Dom, and he said the same thing as you, which to an extent I won't accept or agree with because you're not like we're never going to take away what Mahomes and Michael Jordan and Brady and them guys do because they were good from the start. You know what I mean? Like Mahomes went to play New England in Kansas City, but lost like 44-38. Like he was ready to go from the jump. And that's how he's made 6 straight AFC championships. But I do agree with your guys' point that it is a little bit easier now. Like there's obviously more pressure on Josh Allen and Lamar than there is Mahomes. But the thing that Mahomes and Kelsey and them guys deserve credit is they find a way to be as hungry and motivated. For their 6,
they always want it.
Like it looks like they wanted that game more. Like they're throwing Justin Tucker's ball and fucking little kick thing around. Like they're dead ass. Mahomes is saying, "Oh, they wanted us here when they beat you guys." Like they find ways to get fired up, whether it's the media, social media, and all that shit. But
I think it's like the edge that Mahomes has over Allen. Allen is like sometimes too nice. Like he is a competitor and he goes out there and I'm not worried about his ability to compete, but it's like him and Lamar. I feel like they just don't. You don't see Josh Allen and Lamar saying shit like that. Maybe Lamar. I just don't pay attention enough to him, but you don't see Josh Allen in the fucking locker room like when we clinched the fucking division. Like he should have been in there. We were 6-6. Miami think they had something.
Yeah,
like
just firing it up.
He doesn't have that like edge to him. He plays like he does. So
I think he's too focused on winning a Super Bowl. That's probably really what it is. Like trying to get there.
At least in his defense, though, I do think what you were talking about on the way here is you guys really are just a wide receiver too, and your defense staying healthy, and you're fine. Like if I was a Bills fan, I would feel like I would be upset. But it's like, man, you draft a receiver.
This is a good segue too.
With Shakir, Kincaid, Diggs, James Cook.
Davis will probably be gone, but
you get rid of Gabe Davis, get a better.
Nice.
Get a
Did
better.
you not say Davis?
No, I said just draft a receiver too, which was my way of saying like Gabe's gone or he's not a receiver too, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now you have Allen, Cook, Diggs, this new guy, Troy Franklin with Kincaid and Shakir. Now you have Milano and whoever else. Maybe Von Miller can do something. I know you're not.
Dude, he fucking blows.
But I'm just saying, if the defense stays healthy,
I was like, okay, maybe he'll come do something in the playoffs. What he got a tackle? No, he didn't do
it is
shit.
crazy, bro. But I'm just saying, like
we need a sack more than anything, and he's nowhere to be found. He's one guy's on him like this.
I would be more worried as a Raven fan with Burrow coming back, Watson coming back, the Steelers getting better than I would be as a Bills fan.
No, like this.
The thing is, okay. You need to stop disrespecting Miller.
I can't.
He's 35
I don't give a fuck.
old,
I don't give a fuck. He got signed for $100 and something million to do something in the games for the Bills. And what does he do?
Did.
No, what do you do?
Before injury, but
before injury.
Okay, but what about
but
this
he
year?
got hurt.
His first year.
Bro, when you
Doesn't
sign
matter,
someone
man.
like
he
that,
comes back and he's played 9-10 games. You have to how long does it take after you're playing 10 games?
Maybe by September.
Fuck no.
okay,
dude sucks.
Listen, it was a risk that didn't pay off. We had to
I
give
like
him
the risk.
We had to give him that contract.
I was happy as fuck when we signed him.
And he was phenomenal.
And now he's not. So yes,
so you can't really do anything about that now.
So I'm just complaining. I'm expressing my concern for our defensive line.
You can complain that we have him, but you can't disrespect him. It's not his fault that he's 35 years old and got an ACL. Like,
okay, that's fine. He was great. He sucks now.
He does. It sucks. It sucks.
Disrespecting him, he just is not that guy anymore.
I get it, but it's our fault. Like, we took the risk. We wanted to get a Super Bowl that year. We signed a guy that we knew only probably had 2 more years left in him.
Better than him.
He is.
And he's gone too.
He's gone.
He'll be back.
No, he's not. He's gone. He's gonna get paid. What do you mean?
He put something up too. Didn't
Yeah.
He? What did he say?
He was something like you gotta pay me now or something
he was
like
saying
that.
like it's been fun or some shit.
Yeah.
But he was gonna want his bread.
Yeah.
If there's a person that is a free agent on the Bills, they're not coming back.
Von Miller should give him. That would be cool if you could do that. Von Miller would be like, all right, you could take some of my contract and put it on his. I don't think it works like that though.
If he wanted to, he could.
Nah, Miller knows at the end of this contract he's done, and
he's
cut after this year.
No, yeah, but I'm saying Miller could do that. Yeah. I'm not saying he would do that, but he could be like, you know what, take some of my contract, give it to Floyd. Let's run it. That's why Brady was great for so long.
Yeah, but it was easy when you had a billionaire wife too, though.
No, I get it. Yeah, that's true.
Like a lot of people want to
That
give
is
Brady.
true.
I guess I just hate Brady because I realize I do this thing that I hate when people do to Mahomes. Every time somebody I'll say something about Mahomes, somebody will say this is why. And when somebody says something about Brady, I always have a reason. But in this case, I do stand by that reason. It's easy to take a pay cut when your fucking wife.
Not really though, because all these dudes that they're getting paid $50 million a year. You could easily just take 40.
No, I'm not saying that you're wrong.
If you want to win a chip, why not?
I do agree. I'm just saying, wouldn't Brady have done that?
Listen to me though. If I was the guy, right, getting $50 million a year, and they're like, we can't sign this guy because you're taking all of our money.
Yeah,
I would.
But you realize the guy saying that to you is worth $3 billion.
That's the other problem. Too.
That's cool, but he's already putting all this bread up.
Von Miller is a different case.
I'm not saying Von Miller should do this.
No.
I'm just saying if I was the. Let me finish what I'm saying first before you cut me off, please. Fuck.
Relax.
If I was the guy and I want to win a chip, I would take the pay cut, no matter who's telling me.
Yeah.
If this is our budget and I want to make, if I want a fucking ring on my finger, I'm taking a pay cut.
Yeah.
It's
easy.
It's
like big deal. I'm making $40 million.
Yeah,
My life's so tough.
Yeah.
Okay, but listen.
Exactly.
One, none of these guys are making $40 million.
And then
unless you're a quarterback.
Do some shit like Otani did. Fuck it.
He's tripping.
Yeah. No, he's not tripping at all.
He's gonna be a billionaire in 10 years.
He's fun.
None
of these guys that aren't quarterbacks are making $40 million. Von Miller's a different case because he's already been paid a ton. He's got his rings. But so if Von Miller did it, okay. But the rest of these guys, what if you were 25, right, and you're hoping that you have another 10 years to play, and then you have an Achilles injury, and you just gave up $10 million of your contract, and now you get cut 3 years in. Where say you signed, so Von Miller's contract basically it was around $25 million for 5 years, right? So he's gonna make he's thinking he's got $125 million. He knew he was gonna get cut. But say you're young, you think you have a real shot at making it through that contract without getting cut. $100 million. You're like, I take 20 off the top, give it to this guy.
I have a perfect rebuttal
this man
to
just yelled at me.
I'm just telling you, I have a rebuttal.
Now, and say you were a 3rd round pick, so you didn't make that much in your first contract. So you're like, oh, yeah, take $20 million off the top. I'll make some more. But then you blow your Achilles in the second year. You suck, and then they cut you before you make your full 80. Now you only made $60 million. You get taxed to shit. Now you only have $30 million. $30 million is a lot of money. It's more than we'll ever make in our lives. But when you think about it, now instead of him having he's thinking I'm gonna have $100 million to play with for the rest of my life. Now I only have 30. You got fucking 3 kids. Your mom, your dad, every fucking one of your cousins thinks you could take care of them. Fuck that. I'm not.
Okay.
In Von Miller's case, maybe because I've already been paid a shit ton. But
you're in a fantasy draft. You have pick number 1. Who are you taking?
Christian McCaffrey.
Even though he can have injuries.
Sure.
I'm saying you can't be like take 20 off the top and I can't take 20 off the top because I think I'm gonna have an Achilles injury.
Fantasy football and $100 million is not.
No, but a lot of people think like that. Think about it though. What I'm saying is that if I'm taking $20 million off the top, I'm not expecting to. You can't base your career off of
but it is your life though.
It's your life and your family's lives. You're not I'm not risking my family.
$30 million's not enough.
I'm not.
It depends what your lifestyle is too.
But you're in order for it to be that case, you have to have the injury. So you're telling me that why even play?
I worked my entire life to get to a place where less than 1% of people even had a chance of getting there. I'm making my bread. I having a Super Bowl ring, having a Super Bowl. If I'm 32, if I'm 32 and I just got paid a lot of money for the past 10 years and I still don't have a ring, sure, maybe. But if I'm 25, you're giving me every single dime I can get. I'll play for the 0-16 Lions if I'm making $20 million more because I have 10 cousins that I want to go to college or whatever. Like you got to think. It sounds like a lot to us because we've never had it.
But I'm saying if you're a competitor and want a ring, I don't think you can think like that. You can't be a competitor and think like that.
As important as a ring is, though, it's not more important than
to these guys.
Yeah.
My thing with Brady, that's exactly why I'm getting into Brady. Brady's about to start Fox next year, 307 or one of the two, 200.
It's an unreal contract.
$375 million to sit here and announce football games
for like 10 years.
Of course, he could fucking do that shit.
Yeah,
Bob Miller ain't announcing no football,
but he knew his
wife. He had all the
wife.
endorsements though, and he knew his wife was a billionaire. You know what I'm saying?
Von
Miller's wife ain't a billionaire.
He divorced his wife.
Yeah, because she wasn't making enough money.
Now half his contracts are going to her.
Yeah, now he's going to pay child support out his ass.
And guess what? He's
Tom
still
Brady
doing it.
Like, look at Ohtani. Everybody wants to say Ohtani's amazing, and that's great. He is. But it's easy to tell them to give you your contract at the end when you're making 50, 100, 200 million in endorsements.
Yeah.
He just
Like
making
LeBron.
Like,
everyone said like, oh, LeBron was such a good guy when he only took 17 million. Yeah, he was the highest paid athlete in the world outside of
he's almost a billionaire right now.
Messi and Ronaldo.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
So like Ohtani's only making $2 million a year from the Dodgers. Yeah, okay, that's his money that he wipes his ass with. He's making all his money in endorsements.
And then he'll get $680 million at the
Yeah.
And football players, except for quarterbacks, don't make shit.
So
in
Von Miller,
endorsements.
you can't compare Miller and Brady. It's just different. Even Hopkins, I always say like Hopkins should have took less to go to Kansas City or Buffalo. Hopkins like fuck that. I won't win a ring. I'll be rich. Like
And Hopkins probably has nothing in
Yeah,
endorsements.
but
Yeah,
my
exactly.
point is that these dudes, they go from not having much bread, right,
yeah.
to becoming millionaires. I just think that it's a small, even if you take a pay cut for 1 year, it's a small fraction to pay if you're
get it, but
competing for a ring. That's
Let's
all
look
I
at
think.
Antonio Brown. This dude.
But these dudes don't want.
But just
Every
think about
situation's
this.
different.
Antonio Brown was the best receiver in football. If he never, I personally, this is my opinion, believe he has something wrong with him now, CTE or whatever.
Has to be, yeah.
If that never happened to him, he would still be a good receiver in the league. He was just catching a touchdown in the Super Bowl with Brady.
He had over 1,000 yards that year, right?
He would still be making a ton of money, but because something happened to him, like when Burfett hit him or whatever,
Remember when he wouldn't come to Buffalo?
dude lost his
My bad.
mind.
He lost his mind, yeah.
He literally is fucked up, and now imagine if he took some pay cuts. I mean, I'm sure he's doing dumber shit with his money now, though, so I get that point, too.
But nobody wants him. That's the problem. Because
Yeah, but nobody's going to want Von Miller now either, so imagine if he
No,
gave
but I'm
away some
saying
of his
that's
bread.
not why. The reason why. No, I understand that. I wasn't making that case. I'm talking about like quarterbacks. Like, honestly, Josh Allen should maybe take a pay cut. I don't know. He's not. He's not.
He's got
I think
he's got
starting this year,
endorsements, too.
he hit your guys.
Yeah,
book
that's
hard.
why we're negative 44.
But even look at Beckham, 1 year, $17 million.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fucking want to give Odell Beckham that.
I
But
don't
he
know how he
wasn't
got
taking
that.
less. He wanted that $17 million. He knows that's his last big payday.
And he wasn't able to get like the kind of paydays that Diggs and them got because of his injuries.
Yeah, so it's tough.
But he was better than all these dudes. I mean, like honestly, he what did he have like 1,400 yards a second year? Like
Odell was amazing.
he was on pace to be the best receiver in football. He gets hurt, he never gets that huge contract, so he's like, I'm taking this everywhere I can get it.
I think the only guys that really should take pay cuts are the ones like you said, like Aaron Rodgers. He's made a ton of money. He could have taken a pay cut if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to. I mean, it is what it is. It's his money. He probably wants to.
But he's got rings already. Or he has a ring.
He has a ring. I mean, he won his ring early too. Like it's not that his career's a failure because obviously it's not.
Yeah.
But in a way, like it hurts. Like
His legacy is
I'm just saying-
hindered a
yeah,
lot.
like
by
Mahomes
only
already has
having
more
one ring.
playoff wins than him.
Yeah, but
Way more.
See,
Right?
now
No,
Three
one
or
more.
four more.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Rodgers had 11. I think I seen. Either way, it's like that's not acceptable.
Yeah.
Maybe if he took a pay cut.
Well, Mahomes has more playoff wins than like almost anyone.
Yeah.
Also, but no, yeah, it severely hinders Rodgers'
I guess it's all to each its own.
legacy.
To me, I would want a ring.
I just don't think Von Miller. I agree with you. I just don't.
But
think
he already has a ring, so I
He's
don't
two.
think he should do
he has
that.
2 rings,
That's what I'm saying.
so
But
he don't care.
I never said Von
Oh,
Miller should be the
I
one
see, I
taking the
see.
pay cut. I'm just saying
You're saying
these
somebody who don't
dudes-
have a ring.
Yeah, and you want one, you should take the pay cut.
Yeah. That was a good conversation. Came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was good.
I don't even remember what we were talking about before that.
We're talking about coaches and.
Oh, I also meant to say this too. It was a good segue when we were talking about it, about us hiring our defensive, the Bills
I
hiring.
I wanted that guy.
Yeah, I
Who did
think
he hire? What?
our defensive
Your
back
linebackers
coach.
right?
Is he
He
our
was your-
linebacker-
he was your
linebacker-
defensive
linebackers
back
He's
coach.
our defensive coordinator now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why the fuck didn't I see that?
I don't know, but
I
I
hired Joe Brady too.
5
think
hours
that
ago, it said we were interviewing this dude, and now he's your guys' defensive
the
coordinator.
linebacker.
Oh, so it happened today.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I want him to be our defense. Yo, think about who he had eating as a linebacker.
Yeah.
So, somebody that just you off your couch was eating as a linebacker.
Literally, AJ Klein.
Yeah, that shit's
AJ
insane
Klein
to
literally
me.
lived around the corner from me, like, or around the corner from where I work. Like,
Yeah.
legitimately, like, he's like one of those guys, like makes over $1 million, so we think he's rich, but
Like obviously,
like- he's
Kelsey,
just, like,
Kelsey
right there,
was gonna
you know?
tear him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like basically what I was saying after we were talking about the Ravens' loss is just that I wouldn't worry as like a Bills fan or some of these other teams, but as
Oh,
a
yeah,
Ravens
that's what I
fan,
wanted to say.
I would be worried.
yeah. So I was telling my roommate, I was like, honestly, like these are the kinds of years where we can win it. It's like next year, no one thinks we can, because
You guys are
of
third Super Bowl favorite.
And
already.
favorites,
Oh,
yeah.
Fucking
Joe said.
it's so stupid.
Because you have Josh Allen, dude. It's like we don't know how good Burrow's going to be when
everyone tells me how bad Josh Allen is. You know what it is?
No one believes it, Joe. No one believes it.
I have to say this, though. Do you know why people say that Josh Allen's bad or mid or not elite? It's because the narrative's pushed of all the interceptions he throws, and nobody looks at anything else but the interceptions.
His turnover ratio.
All they can see is interceptions. They can't see another fucking category on the list.
A few of the interceptions are just long punts, like 3rd and 17.
That's what I'm saying. All they see is this little thing.
I do want to say this too to any fans that are listening. If you're gonna complain like I do on 3rd and 17 that your team does a draw or a screen.
Who cares about the interception?
But then you're going to complain when your guy did throw a bomb and hope for a lucky interference or a jump ball catch, and it is intercepted, and you're going to hold that against them. Stop watching football. We can't make you happy, so just stop. They're either going to – that's what the plays are. They're either going to do a screen, something safe to punt the ball and play field position, or we're going to throw the fucking ball deep. There's not really routes that you have enough time in the pocket to say, okay, run like this and do a little curl for 17 yards. That doesn't happen. It's either a bomb or a check down.
Especially
that's your
on 3rd
play.
and 17, they're going to bring the house.
They're going to bring the house.
Yeah.
So you can't be mad at Allen for those. Does he have some stupid ones? Sure. But a lot of them are – punts.
The funniest thing is these are like analytical nerdy stats though, and this was before the end of the season, so it might have changed. But at one point, Josh Allen had a 1.2% turnover ratio, which was lower than like everyone but 2 quarterbacks in the league because he handles the ball a lot more than most quarterbacks. And 2, they I don't know how they do this, but they with some kind of math they determine whose interceptions lead to losses, like in big moments. Who throws interceptions like Lamar did, in crunch time. Josh Allen's interceptions led to losses less than any quarterback in the league because he throws it in times where it's like it's worth the risk.
Yeah.
Like if it's the second quarter and we're down by 3, I'm gonna take the risk. If it pays off, we're up, and if he throw an interception, we throw an interception.
When he let that rip in the Kansas City game, I was so happy.
Like
the one Diggs didn't catch.
It's dumb. There's no. I'm still waiting. You saw the screenshots I sent in the group chat where I make all these arguments and I'm like, answer these questions. If the guys you are saying are better than Josh Allen, answer these questions. Give me your argument. I have yet to get one.
You can't. Outside of Mahomes, you can't.
No one has responded. The responses are, the people he beat in the playoffs were backups. I'm trying to think of the other thing that Jalen said to me. He has a better supporting cast, which is fucking hilarious because people were trying to put Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow above Josh Allen talking about supporting cast. There's no argument you can make. If you're not talking about Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson has a slightly better win percentage, but if you take away Josh Allen's first 2 years, it's not even close, which we all knew Josh Allen wasn't that good back then. The past 4 or 5 years.
Was our number one.
Yeah. The past 4 or 5 years when Josh Allen has been in his prime, who has won more games than him? Who has won more playoff games than him? Who has won more division titles than him? Who has more yards than him? Who has more touchdowns than him? There's not an argument. There's not. Just stop it. Just say you fucking hate Josh Allen or come on this show and make your argument for me. Make your argument. I want to see a legit argument for why someone is better than Josh Allen before you say it that doesn't involve semantics of he beat Tyler Huntley in a game, even though Lamar Jackson is the one who threw the pick 6. The argument's done.
What backups did he even beat though?
He beat Skylar
that was
Thompson.
the only one that was bad then.
Yeah. He beat Mason Rudolph, who played better than their starters.
Yeah, I mean Mason Rudolph, but nobody was going to credit him for Pickett.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
He technically beat Huntley, even though
Lamar
played
3 quarters.
More.
He beat Phillip Rivers. He beat Mac Jones. Yeah, those dudes might suck, but they were
starters.
the starting quarterbacks.
Yeah, and Phillip
and
Rivers.
Allen did put up numbers.
Who did we
it wasn't
beat
like you guys were beating backups 13 to 10.
We beat him 47-17.
Who did we beat when we went to the AFC Championship and faced Kansas City?
We beat Baltimore and
who was the other one?
Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah. But those. Well, I guess the Ravens game. The numbers weren't great, but it was also windy and just a shitty. Lamar and Allen both couldn't really do a lot. But it was still Lamar. You played Huntley at the end, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know the hate, maybe because people live here and the fans annoy him. I know fans annoy me, but I don't let. So fans annoy me, and I hate Bills fans because I live here, but I don't let it blind me to saying Josh Allen sucks or this guy sucks. That's stupid. I don't do that. That, I'll just hate the fans. And when the Bills lose, it'll make me laugh a little bit. And I'll text the people who I feel bad for. But like, damn, that sucks. But then I'll be laughing like with Damon or some shit. I'm not going to laugh at you. But me and Damon were like, when the Chiefs were all like, yo, these motherfuckers thought that Mahomes was going to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll clown. But I feel bad for the real. I do. But I feel bad for the real.
You said that shit so serious. I do.
I text Steve. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, bro. Like, I know that. I know he was hurt. Like, I know you guys were hurt. I don't know why people like just love to hate Josh Allen. It is corny to me.
Yeah, I mean, I do this rant every week, but I'm going to keep fucking doing it because you guys keep fucking saying this shit, and it fucking pisses me off. But what I was saying before that, I think it's like you all, like,
we need
I was
to
telling
lose
my
to
roommate,
Kansas City during the regular season is what needs to happen. You can't beat Kansas City twice in 1 year. It's impossible.
I was telling my roommate, I was like,
that conclusion.
you can be losing Micah Hyde's going to be awful.
He's
but
going to be Green Bay.
But at the same time, like, if next year could be the year that we're healthy. Like, if we have Milano and then Bernard, like, if Milano comes back to what he was and Bernard, like, was fucking phenomenal, having both those guys in our linebackers is going to be great.
And then you draft Franklin or
Douglas
somebody?
has been amazing. Benford played really well
How long
before
we
he
Douglas
got hurt.
for?
I think we have to re-sign him, but I don't know.
Are we re-signing him?
I don't. He's gonna be back. I'm almost 100%.
Yeah, setting that.
If I'm wrong,
Trey White and Benford, that sounds real good.
I don't know if Trey White's ever gonna be a good player, but maybe. I mean, come on, Achilles at that position at that age.
Yeah.
But anyway, like Benford was playing really well towards the end of the year. Elam fucking when he had to play played. We have
Milano.
you can get a
biggest one
really
for me.
good cornerback in the second and third round. We see it every single year. We see really good cornerbacks coming out of the late rounds. Like if we're healthy next year, it can happen. If we have Josh Allen, Super Bowl windows open, and our defense will be better next year if it's healthy. I know it's a huge question. I'm not blaming.
A few pieces stay healthy. You guys end up getting a lot of injuries.
I'm not blaming, but you look at Baltimore.
Neighbors.
I know that Baltimore didn't win the Super Bowl this year, but you look back the past 2 years, they come into the season as like guys who could be a Super Bowl contender. They have so many injuries. They hobble into the playoffs or they don't make it. They finally get healthy, and now look, they lose by the Chiefs by 1 score. They were 1 score away from the title. That's all it takes for us. We've been 3 points away. I mean, the Bengals killed us, but we've been very close for the past couple of years. If we stay healthy, we stay healthy. If we get a guy like Troy Franklin, Josh Allen has a deep threat for the first time since John Brown
now
fucking
Diggs
left.
is better again.
Yeah,
Kincaid and Shakir are crushing people. The run game's open.
Our entire offense is coming back except for Gabe Davis.
I'm just kidding.
James Cook should take another step. Like, I'm not worried about the Bills next year at all. I feel like if the defense played well for being injured, if we get some of those guys back and they stay healthy, it can be next year.
Yeah.
I'm not saying next year is our best shot. I would probably say our best shot is we play well the next couple years, but with all these contracts coming off our books, we have to draft well. We do what Kansas City did and build a second version of Josh Allen's team. I think maybe probably 3-4 years from now is going to be our next best shot, but it could happen any year.
Yeah.
What if the Chiefs have
Look how the Bengals did it. Nobody expected them to make it.
The Chiefs can have
Eagles.
the injuries that we. What if next year Nick Bolton, Snead,
and McDuffie are out. Chris Jones or something.
Yeah. Like what if that happened? It can. Like it's happened to us. It can happen to other people. I think
it happens to us every year, though. It feels like
I know.
The defense is always bad,
but it happened to Baltimore every year, except for this year. Yeah. And then look what happened. Like
they
were
lost
healthy
to the
hell.
Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
Yeah, but if we were healthy, Josh Allen ain't making them terrible throws that Lamar made, and we could beat Mahomes. You know, like so it's they literally the Chiefs literally beat us by picking on our middle linebackers, like. Just Kelsey, because we have A.J. Klein.
They're running the ball well and shit.
So
you know what I will say back about Bills fans, though? And again, I'm not saying that these certain people should speak for you guys, but I don't know if you've seen it in the one group. Aaron was on Facebook arguing with this dude. This dude's literally on Facebook for the world to see. Grown man. Talking about Mahomes is a fraud. He sucks. He's overrated. And then this is what I was talking about the excuses. Well, he beat Miami because all their defense was injured. He beat Buffalo because their defense was injured. And then he played a real defense and only scored 17 and ended up winning because Lamar sucks. Like, those are the people that I think stand out to a lot of people, like, say, like a non-Bills fan. And then we laugh when Buffalo loses because of that.
That's everyone, though. I get.
Well, I said, I understand
everyone.
if we move to Dallas, but we do live in Buffalo. So I basically why I'm saying this is because some people are like, I don't see why everybody hates Bills fans. Well, it's because you got people like that who instead of just saying, look, Mahomes is fucking phenomenal.
Real football fans.
Yeah, but you see so many of these idiots on. That's why I hate social media. You see guys like this. He's a legit human. He shouldn't be.
Facebook has like algorithms now, which annoys the fuck out of me. But because I'm in like a select group where I used to argue sports,
I was in some of those with you.
It pops up now. Other groups pop up, like really big groups.
Yeah.
And you see the craziest shit.
It's just stupid.
You see it's
but they'll be dead ass though. They're not doing it for clicks because they're not on ESPN. They're actually dead ass. And I'm just like, man, I used to argue with these people, but you can't change their mind.
I can't do it.
And they're just stupid and they're emotional.
I tried it for the first time in a long time, and I just got.
They're
flamed.
too emotional, bro. Like to actually think Mahomes is a fraud and that Josh Allen's just so much better than him. You're stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We're all entitled to our opinion, but that's just not even an opinion. He has facts.
Yeah.
Mahomes has 6 straight AFC Championship appearances. 4 Super Bowls now?
Yeah.
Right.
In 5 years? Those are facts. The guy doesn't suck. I'm sorry. He's not a fraud. Stop it. Get off Facebook. You make your family look bad.
Go tell them.
I used to. And I spent so much time and emotion arguing with these people. You can't change their mind no matter what, so it's not even worth it. And I understand that if we did live in Detroit or Chicago or Green Bay, we would talk the same way about those teams' fans. I was on Twitter, I told you guys, and some dude was saying, would have been nice to have Rodgers to win this playoff game. It's like, he can't even enjoy that moment. Kill yourself.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Rodgers just lost 13-10.
And didn't make the playoffs last year.
And then didn't make the playoffs. Jordan Love in his first year lost 24-21, and you have a feel to be negative. Stop. It's stupid. I hate that shit.
Yeah. I mean, another argument being made now is like Mahomes being the GOAT.
Brady beating him hurts that.
It does, but anyone who watched that game, I mean, that was one of the few games where you could be like, injuries fucking, this is the reason.
Yeah.
I mean,
the numbers, through their first 6 years, Mahomes' numbers are better as well.
Made just Brady didn't have an MVP yet or something like that.
I don't think so.
Yeah, Mahomes already has 2.
Yeah.
Now they're making, if he wins the Super Bowl, they'll have the same amount of Super Bowls won. But anyone who knows football admits that Tom Brady wasn't even Tom Brady for the first 2. Like, he was more like a Purdy. He was game managing and being carried by his defense. I'm not saying Purdy's completely being carried, but you get what I'm saying.
I know.
Mahomes
will be my go.
Yeah.
But I understand why people say like slow down.
I personally, you can talk about careers or whatever, but I just personally don't think Tom Brady was ever this good. I mean, the 1 year he had Randy Moss was like probably, but Mahomes had. I don't like looking at stats because Brady did play his first probably 7 years in the league before they started opening things up for the offense. Like Brady and Manning.
Era, really.
Yeah, Brady and Manning always say like 2008, 2009 is when it changed. Like that's when Brady only had like 3,200 yards. That doesn't mean he was
right.
3,200 yards now. You're a fucking bum. Like that doesn't mean he was a bum. And people are gonna look back at it.
That's like some shit Ritter does.
People are gonna look back and be like, Matt Ryan was a top 10 quarterback of all time because he's like 8th all time in yards.
Mm-hmm. No,
so I don't like the stats aren't really what I'm looking at. He was just never making these throws, dude. Like I said it in the Trap Nerd, the other Trap Nerd group chat. Like Mahomes is the best parts of Brady and Rodgers put in one. Like he has
Brady's clutchness and like calmness to him, and
intelligence.
He has Rodgers' talent.
Yeah, like Rodgers for a long time, you guys couldn't install a system because he thought he was the smartest guy in the world, and you guys couldn't run the offense you wanted. And he'd make those beautiful throws, but he'd also turn down the 5-yard ins and outs that would build for that Brady would take all day.
Yep.
And it's like Mahomes just makes the right decision 9 times out of 10. He will.
I don't think he's turned it over in 6 straight playoff games now.
Yeah, he's
no turnovers.
He's not gonna turn down the slant because he's like, I need this touchdown, like Rodgers has done so many times, and it's just I just don't see an argument for anyone being better. Like I get if you want to talk overall careers, obviously he can't be better than a guy who played 21 years, but no one's been this good.
I mean, you could do what I was saying, like sample size, if you sample size them. But
sample size not even close. Mahomes is just way better to start his career. But this is when Brady started getting in.
We'll see if he can keep doing it.
And you know what? I'm gonna say the same thing that I said about LeBron versus Jordan is because with the way coaching is nowadays and it's so streamlined, you find these kids so young, and by the time they make it to the pros, they're so skilled. Where Jordan and Brady probably didn't have that, and Mahomes probably did. I don't know the exact way these people grew up, but like maybe that's why Mahomes came into the league more polished. Like LeBron was a better rookie than Jordan was. You know, he was doing it at 18. Jordan had to be 22. Everything's more streamlined and efficient now, so maybe that's like an argument for why Brady wasn't that good. But arguments aside, like Brady was not this good in his first 7 years. I don't think he was ever this good.
I don't either. Like I said, I know it was different eras and all that, but like Brady was literally winning game after game, 17-14, and he was clutch as fuck.
Yeah.
Brady was like the type of dude that could be 11 for 25, but in the last drive he was going to be money.
Brady's not winning 13 seconds.
No,
He's not. Like,
no.
if you give Brady 2 minutes, he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
But so can Mahomes, and Mahomes can do 13 seconds.
Yeah.
Mahomes can do things we've never seen.
We definitely helped the 13 seconds, though.
It doesn't matter.
but I don't think
you have
anybody
to
else
take
does
advantage
it, though. It's
of
still
it.
13 seconds. That's the crazy part.
And maybe Mahomes can't do that without Tyreek Hill, but he knew what he had. He knew our weaknesses,
We were
and he
also
just
playing
took.
prevent. That shit was mad annoying.
But
I'll
Brady
never
still
forget
would have
that.
found a way to like probably try to go to the sideline or some shit.
Yeah.
What about last night though? Joe said I just napped for 13 minutes. I said that's better than 13 seconds. And
You know
they
what I
told me
Why, bro?
Then he told me that what'd you say?
I said,
If we said something like if that happened to Green Bay and we said something like that to him, he would cuss
It was
us
just
out.
too perfect. Though.
He would send a
13
whole
minutes,
paragraph talking shit.
It was just perfect, bro. 13 minutes.
we have Super Bowls. And
I don't bring up the Super
That's
Bowl.
why I don't
right now.
argue with you, dumbass
four-time
motherfucker.
I don't
MVP
bring
Aaron
up Super
Rodgers.
Bowls, though, do
We're
I?
the youngest team in the
I
league. We
never
just made it
throw-
to
I
the
never throw
second
the
round of
rings
the
around.
playoffs.
As far as
I
I'm
told him I'd
concerned,
cover his room in Legos.
as far as I'm concerned, Green Bay has one Super Bowl, 2 if you count the first one I watched to become a fan. I don't bring up. We were talking about this last week on here, like how Cowboy
wouldn't know.
fans feel so successful compared to Bills fans. But it's like if you're 30 years old, you've seen one of the shittiest organizations in Dallas.
Before we get out of here, I just remembered Justin Herbert. If this man isn't elite next year,
Well, who do they have now?
so they now have Harbaugh. They just hired.
Harbaugh likes to run the ball too. I
They-
can't wait for this shit.
They just hired the player. I think he was the president of player personnel, something like that. He was in charge of personnel for the Ravens. The Ravens always murder the draft.
Yeah, they're the best.
And like he has the 5th pick. He's probably gonna get Malik Neighbors. And they're probably gonna cut Mike Williams. But having Malik Neighbors,
Damn, Quentin Johnson's out.
He'll still be in there because they're
He'll
going
be
to
the
get rid
big
of Mike
slot.
Williams probably.
But if he has Malik Neighbors, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnson, who I'm not a fan of, but when you
could
put him
do
in that
something,
position,
yeah.
If Marvin Harrison Jr. wasn't in this draft, Malik Neighbors would be the best receiver in this class.
100%.
I like Aduzay.
Oh man, I love.
I like them both though.
Yeah, me too. I like Oduzane too, but
Adunze just doesn't do anything. He reminds me of what Diggs was this year. He'll get open,
We're
he'll
gonna
get mad
get-
catches,
we're
but he's
gonna
gonna
get
fall
Odunze.
to the ground.
that's what we're gonna get is Oduzane.
Fuck
No, he's no way he falls to us.
No.
He's gonna.
Neighbors
It's,
ain't that much better than them. Where one's gonna go 5, one's gonna go
No.
28.
Great
It's
year.
gonna go 4,
Couple
5,
picks in the
6.
First round, huh?
it's gonna be 4, 5,
3.
6. I think. Malik Neighbors, dude. I think he can do what Adunze does, but he's just.
No, he might be better. I'm just saying I don't think it's solidified. Like if Oduzay has a better career, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm saying.
Yeah, but
If they have a better career than Marvin Harrison, I'd be surprised.
yeah,
That's all.
I think Neighbors can do it.
Hell no. I
No.
refuse.
Dude.
But if Neighbors goes to Herbert and like say Kyler gets hurt again, I don't know. But whatever. Marvin Harrison's better, but Malik Neighbors, man, I've been like, because that's what I want the Bills to do in the first round. I've just been watching a shit ton. I've been listening to like wide receiver podcasts. Malik Neighbors like runs away from motherfuckers. He's like 6'3".
He's really good. We were
He-
watching some games together.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
I like watch all his highlights and shit. That dude's nice.
He definitely played a huge role in Daniels winning Heisman. That's for sure.
I think the next couple of years, though, like Herbert has a huge opportunity to have a great team built around him. I mean, like having that coach who's been to a Super Bowl, won a national championship in college, and now you get a guy from the best front office in football consistently. Since we were talking about this last week, the Ravens have not been bad since we were kids. I don't know. I don't think he really fits what Harbaugh has done in the past, but
Oh my God, they're gonna get Corum.
They might.
They
Green
might.
Bay's mocked to get him everywhere though in the third.
Dude, they're gonna get Corum.
Maybe Donovan Edwards.
If he gets Corum, I'm drafting him over Marvin Harrison for
You're
sure.
Oh, you're
You're-
fucking drunker than fucking.
Corum should be like the 11th
Robert
pick in a
Downey
fantasy
Jr.
draft.
Never. That dude's nice.
You're not picking him over
picking
Harrison,
him over-
Neighbors, Adunze, whoever the Bills draft. You're not picking the probably future wide receiver 1 for Josh Allen. You're not taking Corum over him.
So talk about the draft and obviously the Super Bowl coming up.
Should we
As
go
of
to the
right now, I would like to, but you can meet me in Duke Fair.
No, you gotta drive around, buddy.
You and Dom are driving around.
Yeah, Dom
and we're
wants to go, so
driving
you
through.
guys just go through.
It's
He's
in
got
Detroit,
he's
right?
got the electric car, so you don't got to pay gas. Yeah.
It's in Detroit.
But who do you guys think already for next year, before this Super Bowl even completes, who's some of the top contenders in your opinion next year?
So I want a receiver. Josh Allen made John Brown, like, he revived his career. Like, and he hasn't had someone like that since. I want Troy Franklin. I'd take Montez, dude from North Carolina. Walker.
Oh, okay.
I would take him, but Troy Franklin, man, like I would probably
What about
hate
Mitchell?
him.
No, you don't like. I seen him going there in a couple mocks.
No, I'm like sold on Troy Franklin.
Yeah.
We have the 28th pick or the 29th?
28th.
Pick, yeah.
I think
We
need
got
to
your guys'
move up.
third. You got our fifth.
We have another third though. From yeah, we do. I thought we were supposed to get a compensatory.
Me and Dom were just looking at it yesterday. Keep going. I'll let you know. I'm pretty sure you got a first, second, fourth, and like.
We were supposed to get a compensatory pick. I
Well,
thought.
maybe it's not
next
updated
year.
then.
Maybe it's next year. I don't know. Troy Franklin, I was just watching. He just fucking playmaker.
I'll
He's
look him up
6'3".
later. I never
You got your own
He played for
first. You
Oregon.
got first, second, fourth, fifth. Green Bay fifth, sixth. Dallas sixth. Denver sixth, and a
swore we had a
seventh.
compensatory
Troy
pick coming
Franklin's
from
from-
like Tremaine Edmonds. Troy Franklin is the wide receiver one at Oregon.
Damn,
Had like
Oregon's
1,400
nice, too.
yards. Had
Quack, quack.
I want to say 13 touchdowns or something.
How much is it to go to the draft?
It can't be that much.
I don't think it's that
Or
much.
we could just go there and like watch it at the casino out there or something.
Well, there'd be no reason to do
Yeah.
that. We just go to Detroit.
You guys just asked me a question and you're talking about fucking.
My man.
It's all good.
When I was asking you your Super Bowl teams, you started giving me your draft picks. So
No,
that's what
you said
happened.
now with the Super Bowl, like why? Who do you want your team to draft? Where you're? That's literally what you just.
He said now that it's over. Who do you think that like Super Bowl is going to be next year?
Like your Super Bowl contenders next year.
Oh, for next year?
Yeah, like even without even picking this year's Super Bowl, who are
I'm taking the Bills out of it just because bias. I don't want to say the Bills. I don't know, dude. Like it depends. Like you have to see the draft and free agency.
Yeah, I mean it'll.
I'm never gonna pick against the
there's
Chiefs.
gonna
I mean,
be-
I don't. It's so hard for you to make. That would be their fourth straight.
No, this is only
No,
their second, right?
Second.
It was the Rams and Bengals.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just so tough
Give
to
me
do
the Bills.
that.
It's got to be our time. Man.
Until the Chiefs get.
I'm gonna
Mike
say the
Evans.
Bills until it's the Bills. So that's what I'm gonna say. And it's like no one's gonna beat the 49ers
But like, do you
either.
think,
Like
Green Bay will beat them, but
with this current state of rosters, no one's.
we
beating
already
them.
had them on the edge.
You did.
Now we're bringing in
you
five-
edged them and you didn't make them
five
finish.
top 100 picks.
That's
Jordan
fire.
Love's going to be a
That
year
is
better.
fire. That
New
is
defensive
fire.
coordinator. Not putting Preston Smith one-on-one with Justin Jefferson.
Oh fuck! There was another
Right?
receiver that they compared to Christian Watson that I was like, I really like too, and I can't remember his fucking name now.
I gotta go look. I haven't looked at nothing yet.
I'm excited for the draft, though.
Me too.
That's all I'm
I
gonna
can't
be
believe
doing
we're
for
picked
the
like
next.
25. I never thought that would be a thing.
You guys are?
Yeah, I thought we'd be picked like 8.
Oh, because you guys.
Where do you want to go in the draft?
Probably
Like position?
corner or safety.
I'd safety or wide receiver for me.
I mean, obviously, if Green Bay took like Franklin and was like, "Fuck it, we're just loading up Love," I just know they won't do that type of shit. So, best corner, best safety would be fine with me.
I kind of wanted either a corner or a safety.
I need Josh Allen to have a weapon. Like I need Josh
That's
Allen
true.
to have like a fucking downfield guy.
I'd rather trade or go sign a guy somehow.
We can't.
There's got to be a way.
We need to build through the draft. Like that is what we need to do for the next 2-3 years. Like we just need to build whatever they want to build through the draft. And then once all these old guys' contracts come up, then we can be like, okay, sign this guy. But we negative 44 in cap, dude. Like there's gonna be, I'm sure there's ways to like adjust and like maybe make like a mid-level signing like we did with Floyd, but we're not. There's
Von
just,
Miller, he can't just be cut.
not until next year, I don't think. It might be 2 years now because of the restructuring they did. Like Diggs can't be traded until next year, but I don't think we should trade him.
Yeah.
I think Diggs will be all right. I would talk shit about him.
If we had a downfield threat, it'd be huge for him. Like we just don't have a downfield.
he drops
Every
the
one
ball
of
and
our
shit.
guys thrives in the intermediate area. Like Shakir is like a short, get the ball and make a play. Kincaid's an intermediate
Well, Gabe
guy.
Davis is our down the threat field.
Down the threat
Or
field.
down the field threat.
That is what he is. Down the threat field.
I want Troy Franklin so bad. He's fast. I would have hated him in years past because he's like only 180 pounds, but who know what that
You know
does
the
not
combine-
matter.
That's why you were saying that about Tank Dell and shit.
That's what I'm. No, that's really why I was
gotta
like,
watch a video on him.
I really was just like, I would have hated him in the past, but it doesn't matter anymore. It's like
Yeah.
it's like the quarterbacks who used to, if you weren't accurate coming in, you probably weren't going to be good. That doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, the combine will change a lot of things, though. You might end up wanting some other guy because he does this and that. You know how the combine changes shit.
I've learned over the past couple years what matters is in the first round. What matters is production
Matter of fact, we got to talk about that.
and separation for wide receivers. Troy Franklin gets separation, and he had 1,400 yards for a
No, yeah,
really
he's a
good team.
beast.
Like, you don't need to tell me anymore, to be honest. Like, the only thing is, like, Quentin Johnson, production wasn't crazy, but they picked him for his like, physical traits. Like, Keon Coleman, I liked him before. That motherfucker's never open. He's gonna be ass. Like if we take Keon Coleman,
from,
yeah.
State.
if we take Keon Coleman, I'm gonna be pissed.
He's about to eat.
He never gets open.
He'll be open, man.
He never gets open.
I think that's what we need. As soon as Josh says we don't need someone, that's who we need.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Basketball is
Let's talk about Butte real quick.
nothing. Did nothing.
No, he got the betting thing. He's like going to jail.
He got caught for
Going to jail.
He got caught for betting on himself in college, 9,000 bets.
And his name was K Butte 17. He didn't even
You
disguise
guys
that shit.
you thought he was gonna be one of the best receivers.
I thought he was
in the
about to be
draft.
nice, bro.
This man was so dumb. He used his own
They
name.
showed a picture of him dropping the ball before he's going into the end zone. They said he definitely bet on himself not to score.
Yeah, for real. That shit was crazy. Though when they said his username, had me crying. But yeah, he's done.
9,000 bets. That just makes me think though that all them dudes are doing that.
Shit's rigged.
Yeah. I don't even think it's like the NFL or college.
Taylor Swift going to the Super Bowl is
No, but listen,
If Eminem would have went there too, that'd have been crazy.
I don't think people care about Eminem that much anymore.
Not anymore, no.
But Taylor Swift, they're like, oh, this man, the NFL made it an estimated $331 million just from new viewership of her playing. Like, it's Mahomes, so you can't be like, oh, it's rigged. He's just that good.
Yeah.
But like, come the fuck on.
But I'm thinking that these players are rigging it themselves more often than not. That's what I'm starting to think.
I don't know.
Bro, 9,000. Think about how many bets.
college, but in NFL, bro, you're gonna risk.
How much
making
money do you think he
10
made off
Ridley did.
9,000?
Huh?
Ridley did.
Dude,
There
Yeah,
was
but
multiple players already.
Yeah,
doing
but
it.
that
What if
was
he bet on
early
his own-
on. Then he got suspended for a year, didn't get paid. Like these players, I just don't think you're gonna risk making
What if
$10
he
to
bet on
$40
his
million
under?
dollars a year.
What if he bet on his own under though and went over? That shit would be funny.
That would be funny as hell. He's like, fuck, I'm so good.
All right,
Fucking open again. What the fuck,
God
dude?
basketball. I mean, like fucking Luka. There was like 4 60-point plus.
Nobody's
games, 2 of
better
them were
than him.
70 plus.
Nobody's better than Luka.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about basketball. You see why I'm wearing this shirt? Because I got to wear a throwback player because my team sucks so bad.
Knicks are the
The
best.
Knicks are out shit.
The Knicks have won 12.
You guys got rid of the player that was holding y'all back.
Facts. Even
been saying that shit.
OG and Randall. I mean, it was only against Charlotte, but we still won by 20 last night.
Yeah,
without
Randall's
Randall.
out for a while.
Yeah, fucking bullshit. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a
He has
bad.
a high ankle sprain, right?
No, shoulder.
Dislocated shoulder.
is it?
But
I-
he
why did
didn't
I
like
think it was-
damage
I thought
anything.
I
They
read
said
a
it was
ankle.
not.
So how long will he be out for?
I don't know, but they said it was like he missed a major injury.
Oh, okay.
He still might be out for a while, but that was what was.
You guys are
reported.
nice. I mean, you guys ain't gonna do shit, but
You guys are gonna get
I
beat
still
by the
don't think we
Hawks.
can beat Celtics.
They ain't beating the
I think
Bucks
we could.
either.
I think we beat anyone.
Giannis and Lillard in a 7-game series. Like I know their defense
Now that-
sucks.
yeah,
and
but their
blah
defense
blah
probably
blah.
better.
But it's
Yeah,
the
but
same
it's
shit
not
about
different
Kansas
than
City when Lillard and them. I know that Lillard's not like a playoff like
But he
performer.
He has
but
one of the best playoff
we
performances
know
ever.
he's gonna turn a switch on when he
Yeah.
has to. Right now he's just chilling.
I think you're underestimating. Brunson's that guy. Like
Yeah, but
he's
Giannis
that
is
guy.
way better than everybody.
He is, but our
Dame might be
their
better
and their
than
supporting
Brunson.
team is really. They still have like Portis, and
Middleton,
Lopez.
yeah.
So
Dame's better than Brunson.
Even if he's not, though, Giannis is better than all them dudes.
Yeah.
Is Dame better than Brunson?
I think so.
Brunson's the number 1 player on a playoff team with better
Potentially
stats.
the two best players are going to be on the same team.
But even if Brunson's better, then it's
He's not
still
better than Giannis,
Giannis
I
is
know.
1 and Lillard's 3 then.
Yeah, but
And
then
Randall don't even show up in the playoffs.
he's been hurt, man. He's been hurt in the playoffs. OG's probably their 5th best player on both
Yeah, that was a
teams.
good trade.
I think we can beat anyone except for the Bucks and
the reason
Celtics.
RJ Barrett's so bad is because he'll shoot you out the game.
How's he been doing in Philly?
He's
or
hurt
in
right
Toronto?
now, I know that.
He was alright though. He
Then
dropped
he's-
20 versus y'all.
I thought he dropped over 30.
They said it was a
Not
career
against
high.
us, but against someone else. It was definitely not a career high. You said 20?
I was clowning,
Oh,
bro.
I was like, what?
Let me clown.
No. I still like RJ, man.
He blows.
He doesn't blow.
He sucks.
24, 26, 17, 20, 29, all on good shooting. 7 rebounds, 9 rebounds, 8 rebounds.
He definitely
4
plays
rebounds.
better in Toronto than he did for the Knicks.
It's because he's allowed to handle the ball. He just is so inconsistent. 23, 24, 4. 24, 26, 17. Like, he's just... That's all right.
I had him in fantasy for 2 years in a row, and
Good
he
riddance.
blows.
Good riddance.
He was
Yeah,
was
at least he's in
holding all day.
Canada and shit. That's cool.
Yeah, you can hang out with
He's
Steve
from there
Nash.
too.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you said that?
Yeah.
All
right, peace.
yeah, I'm hungry. Anything else?
Let's eat.
Thank
Next
you
week,
guys for
next week we'll
listening.
break down the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's no reason to this
Yeah,
week.
there's
When,
no point. You guys don't want to talk about the Pro Bowl?
Fuck that shit.
The Pro Bowl.
Jordan loved it.
Flag
Gino
football.
and Baker
Gosh,
made it
Allen
over
didn't make it.
Jordan Love.
Stop. Bye.
Allen turned it down. Minshew got in.
Oh, really?
Well, he only made it as an alternate.
Right, but Love didn't even get it as an alternate unless he turned it down, and I don't know that. But Geno made it over him. That's pathetic.
I can't.
Remember you guys told me Gino was nice, though?
Nah.
You guys told me that. I'll find the episode.
You're the one who picked
You
Seattle.
Never
loved
said that.
Seattle.
Never
Geno
said
was
that.
good.
No, I
We
said
thought Seattle was gonna suck because we thought Geno sucked.
no.
And you
I
were
said
like,
I said Gino. I said I don't understand why everyone loves Gino. He sucks. You look at his career. I said it 100 times.
one
I
of your
didn't
shining
argue
moments
with
is
you.
picking Seattle to make the
No, it
playoffs
was the
last year.
Giants.
No, it was Seattle
didn't
and the
argue with you.
Giants.
Let's talk about this over some food, though.
All right, peace.
Thank you guys for listening to Trapner Sports everywhere.
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith, please follow us. Peace out, guys. Thank you.
We'll reach out to you.